there's so much emotion in this movie. It's not just about two men being stupid. Also, so much broken heart, so much sadness. But eventually, this movie is about brotherhood. It's about brother pick each other up, brother be there for you. It's a brother's movie.
Hey folks, Brian Smith here with Dream Path Podcast, where we get inside the heads of talented creatives from all over the world. Today we talk to Al D. Al is a musician, a movie producer, and an actor. He got his start in the film world producing movies like Brigsby Bear with Greg Kinnear, Michaela Watkins, and Claire Danes. He also produced Dreamland with Jason Schwartzman and Piercing with Christopher Abbott and Mia Wasikowski. His most recent film is Some of Our Stallions, and if you listen to my interview with Olivia Taylor-Dudley from a couple of days ago, you know what Some of Our Stallions is all about. If you don't, I'll recap it here. This is one of the best movies I've seen in 2021. It's a very unique storyline about two friends who are almost like brothers, and they both have mental health issues, and they stumble across a woman, Bonnie, played by Olivia, and she is struggling with similar mental health issues. And there's a friendship that is formed and a romance and some misadventures. And it's just, I don't want to give away too much about the movie, but it's a really special film. I don't think you've seen anything like it. I know I haven't. But in this interview with Al, we go down some fun roads. We talk about his journey into music and how that transitioned into film and how he got involved in producing movies. And I'm always curious about how people break into the film industry. So Al's story was pretty fun to listen to. And Al is actually a really hilarious guy. And Olivia talked about this during our chat, how Al provided so much comic relief on set 12 hours a day, making everybody laugh. And he made me laugh as well. So I hope you enjoyed this interview with Al as much as I did. And in a couple of days, we're going to launch my chat with Carson Mell, the writer and director of Some of Our Stallions. And so let's jump right in to my chat with Al D.
Let me change my name. No, my name looks like robot's name.
Al.
Just a bunch of numbers.
So yeah. You are not a robot. For my audience who's watching this on YouTube, this is Al D. And Al D, welcome to Dream Path Podcast.
Hey Brian, how are you?
I'm doing very well, very well. I was studying last night for this interview, and one of the movies I watched to prepare was Piercing.
The horror.
Yeah. So I that movie just came out of nowhere for me. I had not heard of Piercing before, and it was
3 years ago.
Completely shocked me and surprised me, and it was a very pleasant surprise because I didn't realize going in first of all, where it was going to go. I think where you think it was going really brought this sense of darkness and foreboding. And where it ended up, it turned out to be a very complicated relationship and kind of a duel in a way. And I don't want to spoil it for people that want us to go rent it because it's a pretty cool film.
No, it's okay. It was 3 years ago movie.
Yeah.
Also, I have no royalty in that movie. Just download it. Just watch it.
Okay. So before we talk about Some of Our Stallions, let's talk about Piercing because that's fresh in my mind from last night. I've already watched Some of Our Stallions a week ago or so. But how did you get involved? How did you get involved in that project?
So Piercing is my third movie in America. So after I did my first movie Dreamland and my second movie Brigsby Bear, my agency is called UTA. So the agent from UTA sent me this script. And then after I read the script, I really love it because at that moment, I want to stretching my creative muscle. Mm-hmm. I don't only want to do comedy and a dramedy. I want to do horror. So, once I read that script, I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Also that movie is adapted by Japanese authors novel. I love
okay.
that Japanese.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh. So your agent at UTA sent you the script, and then what happened next?
And then they sent me the script, and then they introduced me to the other producer and the directors. Mm-hmm. So, we made that movie before Christmas 2017. Yeah.
Wow.
No, before Christmas of 2016. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then it just came out like 17 or 18, right?
Yeah.
Did it hit any festivals, or how? I'm just wondering. I know there's a lot of movies that come out, and it's hard to keep up with all of the movies anymore. But how did this movie land? I would imagine that it may have not made a theatrical run because it's pretty off the beaten path and different.
So funny, because people say indie movie is like a craft beer. There's so many of them, and it's like craft beer.
Yeah,
craft beer.
Yeah. I live in the land of craft beer up here, so.
So Piercing premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in 2018.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, we did. It was my second movie got on Sundance, and then we got to a lot of big festivals: Sundance, Rotterdam. What other festival? I forgot. It was 4 years ago. So we had a limited theoretical run,
mm-hmm.
and then it was pretty okay. Yeah.
So tell me, before we talk about the movie that we're primarily here to talk about, how did you find your way into the film business with an agent at UTA, getting sent scripts, producing movies? Tell us about that transition.
Actually, my man, I was a musician. I was in music world.
Really?
I was play jazz, heavy metal, hard rock, blues rock.
Uh-huh.
I'm a music guy. So I'm a friend of my friend called Robert Schwartzman. He has a band from America called Rooney. So in the beginning, when I became a friend of Robert, we only do music until one day Robert decided to be a director. So he's a little brother of Jason Schwartzman, that actor.
No way.
So
okay.
Yeah, so he's cousin of he's a little brother of Jason Schwartzman, cousin of Nicolas Cage, Sofia Coppola. Mm-hmm. So one day he's like, "Oh, I'm going to make my first movie. Do you want to be a part of it?" I said, "Of course. I'm one of my best friends. I want to be a part of it." So accidentally, my job was raising money for him. So I raised a bunch of money for his first movie, also become my first movie. But that's the funny thing. Also, that movie went to Tribeca Festival, sold to Netflix. And but that's the thing in American. I think maybe in Hollywood, once you make your first movie, also the movie has a decent success, and then people will treat you seriously. And then I don't even know why. After a few days later, I got represented by UTA. This is the truth, not a brag. Suddenly, I mean, I know some friends from UTA because I'm a musician. But suddenly, after Dreamland come out, I got represented by UTA. It was pretty lucky for me, very lucky. So that's my transition from musician to become movie guy.
That is a hell of a story. To have that kind of connection to Jason Schwartzman through Robert, and to be able to make an indie film that makes this kind of splash, and then to find an agent, and then you're just in it. You're in the film world. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's accidentally, like really accidentally. Yeah, because for me, I always love to play music, because when you play music, you just need another guitar, you need a bass, you need a keyboard, you need a rehearsal room. You got the music done, good music or bad music. So simple. Make a movie, you have to wait. So many people say okay. So many people say okay, this is too much headache. So in the beginning, I never want to make a movie. I just want to do music. So now I'm really become a movie guy. I'm very, very grateful. I become movie guy. I love making movies.
So what is it about your skill set and your talent base that allows you to be a good producer? Like, what are the elements of being a good movie producer?
It's funny. I was talking to Carson Mell. Carson Mell is the director of Some of Our Stallions, my new movie.
I'm talking to him later today.
Oh, so funny. I was talking to him. I was like, Carson, what is my good side of being a producer? So he said, actually, I gave very good creative note.
Okay.
Creative notes.
Good creative notes. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Carson said, when I'm on the movie set, I make everybody laugh because I think I just want to make people happy. So Carson said, every time when I'm on movie set, people just love to talk to me. They feel good. It's funny. Carson said there's a couple of times some crew, because when we make a movie, it's 12 hours, very long hours. Sometimes people very tired, but when I make a joke, people laugh. People want to be loyal to you. People don't want to just people want to be loyal for you. People want to fight for you.
That's exactly what Olivia told me yesterday. I interviewed Olivia about this movie, and she said that she was laughing on set every single day, all day. So I think your comment is accurate about the sense of humor that you bring to the set and how important that is.
Oh, I didn't know you also interviewed Olivia yesterday. Also, you are going to interview Carson later.
Right.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I just all three in a couple of days.
Thank you so much for supporting us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's pretty exciting to see this project come together and also to watch a movie. And I mentioned this to Olivia, is that I watched Some of Our Stallions with no expectations because I hadn't heard about it before. And I just went in, I think I had watched the trailer once. And what was remarkable to me about the film is that it didn't go to the places that you thought it was going to go with the usual tropes of, number one, having the fact that your character, Andy, is an immigrant or, a Chinese American with an accent, that was somehow just never even part of the discussion. It was not, you weren't the butt of the jokes because of that. And same thing with Olivia's character. She wasn't sexualized in any way, and the relationship that developed between Andy and Bonnie was an emotional thing. That there was sexual undertones to it, and obviously things were happening romantically behind the scenes, but that really wasn't featured. The physical relationship really wasn't featured. And same thing with the mental health issues too. There wasn't any making fun of or having someone with mental illness be the butt of the joke. That was the backdrop to it, is these characters are challenged, all three of them. And it just was a really refreshing way to watch these relationships unfold on screen.
Thank you so much for all these nice, sweet words. Thank you so much for the thought. Also, in the beginning, when I talked to you, I was a little bit nervous. So I only look at you. Now I feel much more loose up. I see so many guitars behind you.
Oh, yeah.
You're also a musician?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I play blues mainly, blues and folk. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm not good enough to play jazz, though. Jazz is way over my head.
It's just nice to see all the great guitar behind you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do.
So, sorry, I have to ask you one question. Do you like this guy called Johnny Winter?
Johnny Winter?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't listen to a lot of Johnny Winter, but I know he's part of the, the blues history. He's part of the fabric of blues in America.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah. So you play jazz and blues, huh?
Also, I'm like you. I play better blues than jazz.
Yeah, right on. So jazz. So I know we're kind of getting off track on the movie a little bit, but this is fascinating. Jazz to me feels like a different language. Like I have to be almost bilingual to understand jazz because it's so different than blues or folk or Americana. And did you have to go to school to study jazz to learn it? Or what was your portal into the jazz world?
In the beginning, I was a rock and roll guitar player. I play like all this American called hair metal, Bon Jovi, Skid Row, Mr. Big,
Yeah.
And then I grew up a little bit. I went to Vancouver, Canada to learn jazz. And then once I studied in a jazz school, I realized all my classmates are much better than me. So I'm like, no. Yeah. So I switched my course from music study to become music business, film business guy.
Oh,
like
okay.
behind the scene guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what school was that?
Called in Vancouver, not Pacific Audio Visual Institute, I think, called Pacific Audio Visual Institute.
Yeah. And then
like a long time ago.
Long time. And then after you graduated from that program, did you work behind the scenes in music, or were you actually on stage performing still?
And then because I realized my jazz guitar sucks, so I become a music business guy. I got my first job in the Universal Music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool how you were able to find your way into the music world behind the scenes. And now you're in the film world behind the scenes as a producer, but also on screen. What was it like to be featured in a film like this, Some of Our Stallions, where it's a dramatic role, it's a comedic role, and you're weaving these themes together in these two genres of drama and comedy, very heavy subjects on the drama side. But how did it feel to take on that kind of role when it looks like in your filmography you hadn't done that before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's my first acting role. And this movie, the reason this movie happened, I become one of the leading roles, is really because I'm a very good friend with Olivia and Carson in real life. So actually the truth is before we make this movie, Carson and me, we have another bigger movie to make in 2018. But nobody read your script these days. Yeah, I mean, me and Carson, we're all from this same agency. So we just send our script to all these big movie stars. After 1 month, nobody read your script. And then we have to give another big star. After another 1 month, wasted, no response. After 3 months, 4 months, wasted. Me and Carson one day is like, man, we just want to make a movie. Of course, we were joking. We were also drinking. We were like, just imagine if we become a little bit, if one day we become bankable movie actors, we can just put ourselves in the movie. We can keep making movies.
Right.
So because that's a joke. So suddenly I'm like, Carson, do you have a small size script? Few character. We can make this movie. We should act. Let's make a movie because we just want to make a movie. So Carson very lucky, Carson has this movie script. So we made this movie. Also because we are really good friends in the real life. So we rehearsal a lot in our private life. Actually, I lived in Carson's house before this movie for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just every day we wake up, we are rehearsal the script. We are in character. We are on the street acting like the characters.
Oh,
so
amazing.
Really those lines, those emotion, those lines in our bone.
That's amazing. So you have this friendship, you have this experience of trying to get a movie made that was being turned down because they wanted big stars attached, and you were being told
Yeah.
no. And so you take this friendship and just say, you know what, we're going to take this core group of people, our posse, and we're going to make this movie. And he just happened to have this script. How long, I'm going to ask Carson about this later on today, but how long had he had this script sitting in his drawer ready to be made?
Actually, very long. This
Yeah.
script is one of the script in his drawer. He forgot it. You know,
He wrote it and just forgot about it.
Yeah, it's totally buried. Yeah, it's totally buried.
Yeah.
Until we mentioned this, we should acting. So suddenly he's like, "Oh, I have this script, probably good for me and LD." Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he can answer you later. Yeah.
So you lived in his house for 2 weeks, living in character and interacting with him in character. And then where was Olivia during this process? Was she? When did you bring her in?
Before that. So when Carson and I, also another thing very lucky for us, Olivia is my very good friend in real life. Also, Olivia, Carson, and me, we are all in the same agency.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Olivia and Carson, they are same manager. Olivia and Carson, they don't know each other, but they share same manager.
Okay.
So this world is so small. Also, Olivia. So once we have this script, I called Olivia. So Olivia attached, and then when I live with Carson, Olivia drive all the way to Carson's house. 3 of us, we just rehearsal table read.
Nice. That's so cool. It's like the most organic story about a movie coming together that I've ever heard. It's just 3 friends wanting to make something special, and you guys did it. Yeah. So what were some of the challenges as a producer on that movie? What were some of the challenges of funding, shooting the movie, distribution? Because you're the guy that is responsible for all of that. So tell us how that unfolded.
The first challenge always raising money, fund the money. And then I'm not going to go too deep, but it was very hard because nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows who is Carson. So Carson got his mentor, Mike Judge. Mike Judge is like a big producer in Hollywood. He's the creator of Silicon Valley, Beavis Butthead. So
Mike, yeah, I know Mike
famous.
Judge very well. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Judge attached. Mike Judge said, "Okay, the reason I want to be executive producer for this movie because nobody knows who you are." So since we have Mike Judge, also we have Olivia, Tim Heidecker. Tim Heidecker is a friend of Carson.
Right.
Slowly we have real actor. We have real actors in this movie. So I'm very lucky. So I got some money because before this movie I made 6 movies. So I know some financiers. So I got money for this movie. That's one of the challenge actually. Second thing is we made this movie in Vancouver. The reason we made this movie in Vancouver is because I'm not at that time. I'm not an actor, so it's impossible for me to get a working visa in America. Because in Asian actors, we have to be a big star like Jackie Chan or blah 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 to get that working visa in American.
Right.
As actors. So I'm nothing. So I can't get actor visas. So we moved to Canada. And then we made this movie in January. But Canada, the weather is crazy. It's really climate change. In the end of January, in February, usually there's no snow, there's no rain in Vancouver because I lived in Vancouver to study music for 5 years. So I'm familiar with the weather in February. Very good weather. But in 2019, the weather was like horrible.
I saw that.
All
the
this
snow,
weather.
in the movie.
Yeah. Also rain, the rain. Because all this weather change, for the, what's that word? Continuity. For all the continuity.
Continuity, yeah.
Yeah. Also for all this cast, everything, the engine, the heat, everything, it's an indie movie. Indie movie don't have too much money to burn. But all this thing costs our money, like burning. So it was very sad. But we made this movie. That's another thing. Climate change. Extreme weather made it.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that answer. Climate change as a problem or a challenge.
Another change is after you make this movie, because Carson is American, and I'm in Asia. The post production house in Vancouver. So three locations doing post. It was a challenge. And then COVID-19 show up.
Oh yeah. When I was watching the movie, I thought it was shot in Minnesota for some reason. When I saw that mall scene, and then I saw the snow, and I was like, "Where is this?" It looks like Minnesota, because you don't expect snow in Vancouver. But I never do anyway. But yeah, so the distribution part of it. So when the film, you go through post-production, you have it in the can, it's ready to go. What do you do next as a producer, and what types of connections are you trying to make to get this film seen?
Marketing promotion, right?
Okay.
And then it's marketing promotion. Because I know very good publicist in Los Angeles, so I have a very, very good publicist to help us to promoting this movie. That whole team, and then Carson, Olivia, me, and the other producers, we have to pull our fevers to get all these friends to help us to spread the world for our movie. Basically, man, making indie movies basically is like a beggar. From the beginning to the end, you beg people. You'll be begging people, help me! Oh, please help me! Oh, really? I mean, everybody will laugh, but everybody will agree. Make an indie movie is constantly pull fever.
Mm-hmm. So now that you've gone through this experience of, you've made quite a few movies, and you have this experience as an actor and a producer, what is next for Al D in terms of professionally in the film industry or music industry?
I think for music now, I'm totally paused because COVID, because I'm doing international touring. Now this COVID-19 stuff, I don't know when this thing will be end. So I'm not going to think about music anymore. It's very heartbreaking. For movie side, I will keep producing. Also, I will keep acting. I don't say I'm going. I think safely I will produce more. But if I'm lucky, if people hire me, cast me, I will just act.
Yeah.
But one thing, there's a challenge because my English is second language, so I have a fake accent. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I can get a lot of movies part in America. But there's always certain part needed genuine Asian role. I think they will come to me.
Mm-hmm. What program do you use to edit movies? Are you on Final Cut or Adobe, or what's the software program?
I think the Final Cut, because Carson edited the whole movie in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I wasn't a part when he's editing. I'm away.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was producing another movie during that part. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Al, this is a very special film that I really want my listeners to go out and see. And if you were to summarize for them why this is an important movie and how it's different from other movies that they've seen over the last 10 years, how would you talk about this film?
Thank you for this question. I think this movie is a very rock and roll attitude movie. Rock and roll attitude. Because this movie is knucklehead movie, which means we're not on the movie trend. If you see this movie trend, people tick the box. No, we didn't. Maybe some of you say, "Oh, LD, you are Asian. You are tick the box." No, I'm not tick the box. this movie is really rock and roll. It's just tell two knucklehead. What's the word? Knucklehead. Knuckle. Yeah,
Knucklehead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really old-fashioned, old-school rock and roll knucklehead story. Very insane, insanity, but with a heartfelt. No lame ass. I don't know. No lame. No superficial stuff. No hypocrisy stuff.
Yeah,
it's a pure heart. Yeah.
Oh.
Also, this movie, there's so much emotion in this movie. It's not just about two men being stupid. Also, so much broken heart, so much sadness. But eventually, this movie is about brotherhood. It's about brother pick each other up, brother be there for you. It's a brother's movie.
Gosh, that you just sold me again. Now I want to go back and watch it again. It's your description is perfect. I agree with everything that you've said. The brotherhood, the broken hearts, the heartfelt nature of it, the knucklehead aspect of it. These two goofballs that are sort of stumbling through life, and everybody has their challenges, including Bonnie, the Bonnie character. Yeah, it's a very surprising film, and I loved it. So, Al D, thank you so much for talking to me on the podcast.
Thank you so much. Man, let me take a photo of this. Let me take a photo.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much for spending time watching the movie, supporting the movie, and talk to me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for talking to me. Are you in China right now, by the way?
Yeah, I'm in China right now. I miss American and Canada very much. Yeah, I hope you guys well.
When are you going to come back?
Hopefully in September or October.
Yeah, shoot another movie?
Yeah, also I want to visit my friends. Also want to eat an American gourmet burger.
Okay. And what's your favorite gourmet burger? In-N-Out, or where do you like to eat?
Oh, yeah, of course. And also Unami burger.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yep, I know that well.
Yeah. Sorry, which city are you? Which city do you
Seattle.
live in? Which
Seattle.
City? Oh, I love Seattle's burger. Called 120 pounds. 80 pounds. I forgot the name. I have to tell you. It's my favorite burger.
Okay.
It's the number 120 pounds something.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. If you remember the exact name, shoot an email to Madison, and she'll share that with me. I'll go check it out.
Are you on Instagram?
Yeah, I am at Dreampath Pod. Are you on Instagram?
Yeah, I will add you. I will follow you.
Okay.
I will add you.
I think I'm already following you, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if I'm not already, I will follow you back.
Okay. Thank you so much again. Hey,
you have a wonderful day. Thanks for talking to us. We'll see you later.
One day we blues.
Right on, Al. All right, we'll see you. Hey, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, I have a favor to ask. Can you go to wherever you listen to podcasts and leave me a review? Your feedback is what keeps this podcast going. You can also check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook with the handle @DreamPathPod. And as always, go find your dream path.